Beach Vacation Nightmare, Part 1. Lisa, Sarah, and I had been friends all through high school. We decided to make a pact to go on a beach vacation together after graduation. We were going to have an awesome beach vacation together. Finally, the day we were looking forward to came. We packed our bags and headed to the airport. It was going to be a 4-hour flight, our first flight together. When we got to our hotel, we were stoked. Our days were filled with learning to ride the waves, sex on the beach, that's a drink by the way, virgin pina coladas, and laughing until the sun dipped below the horizon. It was the kind of carefree fun that made us feel invincible. One night, we hit up a buzzing beach club with music that thumped through our bones. I found myself drawn to a guy named Jake. The night was a whirlwind of laughter and dancing, and I promised Jake I'd see him again. Every afternoon at the beach, I would look around to see if Jake was there too. I was secretly hoping that he would see me in my teeny tiny two-piece bikini. I didn't bother to wear a cover-up either, just in case he was watching. Lisa and Sarah teased me about it. I asked them to look around and tell me if they spot him, but as far as I could tell, he was never at the beach. I would lay on a beach towel, imagining Jake slathering suntan lotion all over my body. The next night we were at the nightclub again. We were underage, but the bartender served us alcoholic drinks. We didn't even ask for them. He said first rounds on him. He told us to have fun, that we deserved it for graduating high school. He also said we should celebrate while we were here and were only young once, so we drank the night away. Early in the morning, we returned to our hotel room. I was eager to ask Sarah and Lisa what they thought about Jake. I also told them that I hoped they would each find someone special on our vacation. We slept most of the mornings away and hit the beach in the afternoons, then headed to the club every single night. Jake was there every night too, waiting for me so we could dance the night away. The slow dances were the best. On the last night of our vacation, Lisa and Sarah decided to go back to the hotel room so they could be fresh for our early morning flight back home. I decided to stay at the club to be with Jake for as long as I could. It was our last night together after all. The dance club would soon be closing. Jake gave me one last kiss and walked me back to my room. But as I swung the door open, my excitement turned to dread. Lisa and Sarah lay motionless on their beds, unresponsive to my calls. Panic gripped me as I realized something was wrong. A quick call for help summoned people in uniforms who explained the unthinkable. Lisa and Sarah had been poisoned. Days turned into a blur of questioning and investigation. It was like we were living in a detective story, trying to piece together a puzzle that none of us wanted to solve. The beach, once a haven of joy, transformed into a crime scene. The investigation pointed fingers at someone with a sinister motive. The bartender was seeking revenge. He had poisoned Lisa and Sarah's drinks. Jake was married to the bartender's sister. The news hit me like a punch in the gut. How could someone harbor so much hatred to kill my two innocent friends? The police caught the culprit, and justice prevailed, but the satisfaction was hollow. It didn't bring back Lisa and Sarah. How could Jake do this to me? How could he be so callous as to flirt with me and dance with me in front of his wife's brother? He is a terrible man. He tried to apologize to me, but I brushed him off. My friends are dead after all. How could I forgive him? The beach vacation could have been filled with happy memories, was now a nightmare. I miss Lisa and Sarah terribly. I'm still grappling with the unfairness of it all. It easily could have been me who was killed. Lisa and Sarah left an indelible mark on my heart, a reminder to appreciate every moment. The beach is not somewhere I wish to go again. The end.
Beach Vacation Nightmare 2. Josie and I have been married for only 2 years. We were so excited about our beach vacation/honeymoon. We had not been on a honeymoon before. The sun was shining, and the sound of the waves promised a perfect getaway. We waded into the water one sunny afternoon, thinking it would be a day of fun and laughter for us and our 2-year-old daughter. Josie was taking a video of our baby girl playing in the sand and running up to the water. As I splashed around, enjoying the cool waves, a sudden tension filled the air. I looked around, and before I knew it, a shark appeared out of nowhere. Panic set in. A swimmer only 20 feet away was thrashing around in the water. He was yelling for help. Everything happened so fast and fear gripped all of us. In that chaotic moment, I reacted quickly. The victim was a man about my age. He tried to pull away from the shark, but it was too late. There was too much blood in the water. Josie and I stumbled towards the shore with our daughter. The beach had turned into a place of horror. There were lots of shouts and commotion coming from the beachgoers. Strangers wanted to help, but everyone was too scared of the shark. Lifeguards came out to recover what was left of the body. We saw that his leg was missing. We took our daughter back to the hotel. We watched with horror from the safety of our hotel room. An ambulance arrived, its sirens blending with the crashing waves. The body was taken away. Our honeymoon kind of soured after that frightful day. We decided to check out early and move to a different hotel across town to try to forget about what we witnessed. But we both know that that day will forever be in our memories. The end.
Beach Vacation Nightmare Part 3. It was a very hot day. I remember the weather report on TV said the weather would be in the high 90s this week. The sun was scorching as I stepped onto the sandy shores of the beach, looking forward to a dreamy vacation. I was 27 years old when my dad was having a midlife crisis. He wanted my brother and sister and I to go on a vacation together with him and Mom to bond. We all decided to indulge him since he said he would pay for our trip. I had never been a fan of the ocean, but the sparkling waves seemed inviting that day. Little did I know, my beach adventure was about to turn into a nightmare. On our first day of vacation, Dad said the girls should have their own bonding time together shopping while he and my brother would bond by going fishing. Dad handed Mom his credit card to pay for our excursion. Mom was more than happy to take it. My sister and I went with Mom shopping at a nearby mall. We were off to explore the local shops, searching for souvenirs and colorful trinkets to remember our beach vacation. I never had so much fun as an adult with my sister and Mom. Things were looking good so far. I got a magnet for my fridge at home and some stickers. My mom got a shell necklace and bracelet. My sister got a flowery dress and a flower clip to put in her hair. The shopkeeper told her to put the flower on the left side if she's married and on the right side if she's single. She clipped the flower to the left. We had fun together as we shopped for beachy treasures. While us girls were shopping, my dad and brother seized the opportunity to bond over a fishing excursion. My dad had only gone fishing a handful of times in his life. He said it was time for him to take it up as a hobby. He had to ask the shopkeeper at the fishing shop what kind of rod and reel to get, and also what kind of bait to get. Armed with fishing rods and bait, my dad and brother ventured to the shore near our hotel. They cast their lines into the shallow water. The hot sun turned their white skin red. After a couple of hours of unsuccessful fishing, my dad and brother called it a day and went to watch a football game on TV while waiting for us girls to return from our shopping. When we got back from shopping, Dad wanted us to all head to the beach to lounge by the water for more bonding time. We all sat on the lounge chairs drinking Long Island iced tea. Boy, it was such a hot day. I remembered putting suntan lotion all over, not wanting to get a sunburn. My sister said she was getting bored. We looked over at Dad and he was asleep under the beach umbrella. I think Mom was too. Sis and I got up and walked over to the water. None of us had ever learned to swim as kids. Mom was just so afraid of us going in the water. I decided to dip my toes into the water, thinking it would be a refreshing change. The waves beckoned, and I found myself wading in the water. The water was warm, but also refreshing. There was a sudden drop-off in the water that I wasn't aware of. I thought there would be a gradual deepening. Panic set in when I realized I couldn't feel the ground beneath my feet anymore. I thrashed about, arms flailing, desperately trying to keep my head above water. Fear clutched at my chest as I struggled against the relentless waves. Panic overtook me, and I gasped for air between desperate cries for help. People on the shore seemed so far away, and I felt an overwhelming sense of isolation. I remember thinking that the water was trying to kill me. It was determined to pull me under. I didn't know how to swim, and the ocean became a monster. I blacked out and my body was fully underwater. I couldn't hold on any longer. That's when a lifeguard appeared, racing towards me with a buoy in hand. The lifeguard pulled me to safety. He had to do CPR on me. I was gasping for air. I still clung to the buoy, my heart pounding with a mixture of fear and relief. I lay on the beach, catching my breath. That's when what could have happened hit me. The lifeguard said he still had to call the ambulance and I would be checked out at the nearest hospital. My family had never been so scared. Mom scolded me for going so far in the water. Dad said we were never going on a beach vacation again. He said next time he might take us to the mountains, far away from the beach. LOL. The end.
Beach Vacation Nightmare, Part 4. My boyfriend Luke got a job in a different city a few months ago. We started to drift apart due to the distance between us. To rekindle our relationship, I planned a beach vacation together. We planned to fly to our destination separately. I booked my flight and paid for the hotel. Luke said he would pay for his half of the hotel expense when he met up with me. Excitement bubbled inside me as the plane landed. An Uber brought me to the hotel. It was near a sun-soaked beach. That's when I got a call from Luke. He said he wouldn't make it. He had to stay back for work. Something about an important account, deadlines, stuff like that. I was so sad. I guess I would have to get ready for a vacation all by myself. I was determined to make the best of it. Little did I know that this solo adventure would take a dark turn. I unpacked my bags. I hung up my clothes in the closet. I was going to be here for a week, and I didn't want my clothes to get wrinkled. I grabbed a sandwich and soda at the hotel's quick stop mart. I didn't want to waste any time eating in a restaurant when I could be outside enjoying the surf and sand. The beach stretched before me, inviting with its golden sands and sparkling water. I went snorkeling in the warm water all by myself. I felt safe because I made sure to stay right in front of the lifeguard. There were many other vacationers on the beach and in the water too. I saw many colorful fish. I then floated in the water, imagining lazy days under the sun and peaceful nights by the shore. But soon, a feeling of unease settled in when I noticed a man from the hotel who seemed to be watching me. I got out of the water and wiped myself off. I quickly packed up my things and went back to my hotel room to rinse off the salt water. I decided to go downstairs to the hotel's restaurant to have dinner by myself. At the restaurant, the server seated me at a table meant for two. I was okay with that. It was appropriate since I was dining solo. That's when I saw him. It was that guy who was watching me at the beach earlier. At first, I brushed it off as a coincidence. Maybe he was just another guest. But as the days passed, his presence became too deliberate to ignore. Whether I lounged by the pool or strolled on the beach, he was there, always lurking in the background. My solo vacation began to feel less like an escape and more like a nightmare. Every time I turned a corner, I was afraid he would jump out at me. One evening, as I enjoyed the sunset from my balcony, I spotted him again, watching me from below. I thought about it. He could easily climb up to my balcony and jump the railing. I was afraid that one night he might just do that. He might get in my room if I accidentally left the sliding door open. Maybe that's what he was planning. Alarm bells rang in my head. Fear crept in, but I decided to confront him. I marched down and asked why he seemed to be following me. His response was unnerving, a dismissive smile and a casual remark about enjoying the same places. Uneasy, I retreated to my room, locking the door behind me. The next day, I tried to lose him by exploring different parts of the beach, but he persisted, always a step behind. I called Luke to ask him if he could come be with me, but he wasn't answering his phone. Panicked, I confided in the hotel staff, and they assured me they would look into it. I kept a vigilant eye, altering my routines to shake off his unwanted presence. It became a game of cat and mouse, and I felt like the prey. One evening, exhausted and fed up, I confronted him again, this time in the presence of hotel security. They warned him to stay away, and finally, the stalking stopped. I never felt so relieved in my life. My solo beach vacation had turned into a nightmare. As I lounged on the beach one last time, I reflected on the strength I found within myself and the importance of staying vigilant, even in the most idyllic of settings. Now, I never go anywhere alone without pepper spray and a whistle. I ditched Luke when I got back. It hurt me that he didn't come on vacation with me and also didn't answer the phone when I needed him. I found out from a friend that he didn't go with me on vacation because he's dating a coworker. He lied about work projects, or maybe she was his work project. Anyhow, I'm also taking karate lessons and started dating my instructor. My life has never been better. The end